Devotional. Grace enough. And he said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will gladly boast rather in my weaknesses, that the power of Christ may rest upon me." 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9. The Christian life is not without its challenges and weaknesses. Yet, in the midst of our limitations, we find a transforming truth: God's grace is sufficient. This grace not only sustains us, but also allows His power to shine through our weaknesses. 1. The grace that sustains. When Paul cried out to the Lord to remove his thorn in the flesh, the divine answer was clear: "My grace is sufficient for you." Instead of taking away the difficulty, God gave him the ability to endure it. His grace is an undeserved gift, an inexhaustible resource that strengthens us in the midst of our struggles. 2. Power in weakness. The world teaches us to hide our weaknesses, but God works in the opposite way. He uses our limitations to manifest His power. When we recognize that we can't do it on our own, we open the door for the power of Christ to be perfected in us. 3. Boast in weaknesses. Paul learned to see his weaknesses not as an obstacle, but as an opportunity to experience the presence of Christ. By boasting in his weaknesses, he found joy in knowing that the strength that sustained him was not his own, but the Lord's. Practical applications. 1. Trust in God's grace every day. No matter how great the difficulty, His grace will always suffice. 2. Accept your weaknesses. Instead of hiding them, bring them to Christ's feet and allow His power to be manifested. 3. Seek strength in Christ. Make prayer and fellowship with God your constant source of power and direction. Conclusion. Human weakness is not an obstacle to God, it is a platform for His glory. When we recognize our frailty and depend on His grace, we experience the transforming power of Christ. Today, in the midst of any challenge, remember, His grace is sufficient for you.